Hello everybody, the Quiet Atheist here. Now before I get started with this video for you guys, I want to be sure to let you know that I did mess with the audio on this software, so hopefully it is correct now and it'll start working a lot better for you guys. Now, there's this individual who left a comment on one of my previous videos I had made, and it was a very lengthy comment, and he had a lot of things to say, which is why this video is probably going to be a little long. This individual said a lot of things. I'm going to try and do my best to answer a lot of things that he had to say in his particular message to me. He goes by the name of Dr. Spike. He is an agnostic, and I'm going to be talking about the first thing that he said to me, which is, and I quote, "You believe that the number of gods in existence is zero." See, Dr. Spike, this is where you and a lot of other individuals like you misunderstand my position. Because what you're saying there is basically that I am saying that there is no gods that exist, that I believe that there is no gods existing at this present time. And that's where you and all of these other individuals like you are incorrect. You see, when it comes to an existence of any god, I don't know. Okay? I think that the knowledge is unobtainable to know whether or not there is a God in this universe. I think that an individual would literally have to know everything there is to know in this universe to even come up with an answer like that. And to me, the knowledge that this universe has to offer in its entirety is knowledge beyond what we can actually fathom. So I'm agnostic on this particular subject. Now, being that there's no knowledge to know whether or not there is a God, I'm agnostic. And because of the fact that there's no evidence to support the existence of a God or God, I'm an atheist. I lack the belief in a God or gods. Hence, agnostic atheist. And that's why I wanted to tell you my position first and foremost. And I hope that you can understand where I'm coming from at the beginning of this video, because some people have a hard time understanding. And that's what I wanted to do first and foremost. I wanted to make my position known to you so that way you can understand what I am talking about and understand where I'm coming from in this video. So with that said, let's get to the next section of the video that I'm going to make. Okay, Dr. Spike, you then take it upon yourself to ask me a very specific question, and the question is as follows. How do you know this? How do you know there is no God? And my only answer to that specific question is, please review the beginning of this video so that you can understand my actual position on this matter. So let's continue forward with your analogy, if you will. I don't believe in my morning cup of coffee. I know my cup of coffee is there. I just picked it up. However, if I'm waking up and smell coffee, I can come to the belief that my wife woke up before me and brewed coffee. Well, I wouldn't know if I would come to the belief, but I would come to the conclusion that there is coffee being made. And as far as coffee is concerned, I think that we both can agree that there has been a lot of evidence for coffee to exist from its roots to now. There's complete evidence that has been studied, peer reviewed, shared in articles, and came to a logical conclusion that coffee does exist. Hell, I got 3 boxes of it in my closet right now. So yeah, this analogy is an actual poor example of what you're talking about. But let's get to the next one. Okay, Dr. Spike, before I go even further, I want to let you know that all of the analogies that you used in that comment that you left under my video fall flat on their face, and including the watchmaker argument. But I'll be getting into that a little bit later. I first want to tackle some more of your analogies because I want to make my subscribers Okay, Dr. Spike, the next thing that I want to talk about that you left under my video is another analogy that you used. And I know that this one is probably going to fall on its face too, like all the others that I've talked about. But let's get to it anyway. So, to my subscribers, he basically says, and I quote, I can't see or touch radio waves, but I know that they exist. I've never seen the radio station producing them, but yet I am aware of its existence. Footprints. We are aware of its existence because of the evidence of it being there. If you look back in our past for over thousands of years, we have built buildings to shelter, to entertain, and to do similar things. This has been observed in many different areas over time, and there has been many evidences for these things. So when you mention that you can't see radio waves, but you know that they are there, that's because of the evidence that has been provided to you that they do exist. All of these things have a scientific process to them, Dr. Spike. And that's something that you did need to understand. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is this whole situation that you had here about how you basically had a problem with individuals, bringing up arguments with the flying spaghetti monster or Santa Claus or my purple pink dragon with a diaper in my backyard or, any other kinds of arguments. One of the things that you have a problem with is the fact that some atheists out there ask Christians, if you believe in God, then why not Santa Claus? And that's one of the problems that they have with us, allegedly. Well, when it comes to Santa Claus, when it comes to the supernatural Santa Claus that flies around at night in his sleigh and is being pulled by reindeer all over the world, dropping off presents to the good little boys and little girls, he doesn't exist. Plain and simple. That whole supernatural aspect of Santa Claus does not exist. There is no evidence for him existing, and there will never be any evidence. Now, people have been smart enough to figure it out as they got older that the only way a Santa Claus can ever hope to exist is if their parents put on a costume. That's it. Plain and simple. All of these arguments that we use towards all of these other ridiculous arguments that Christians use are basically putting them in the position that they're trying to put us in. We want to point out how ridiculous their arguments are when they use them. That's why we use the things that we use, such as the flying spaghetti monster or Pastafarianism or any other ridiculous things that come up every now and then. We want to point the errors in their position. We want to point at them, exploit them. But Christians don't like that. There have been a lot of Christians that I have come across that really don't like that. That's too much honesty for them. And they have a terrible reputation as far as honesty is concerned. They don't have any. But let's get to the end of the comment that you left me, because this is something that I wanted to talk about specifically. It's when you involve the watchmaker argument and this whole design thing. To me, that's a pathetic argument. I'm going to start here now by saying that. And it's ridiculous, plain and simple. But I'm going to share it with my subscribers anyway, so that way they can develop their own opinions about this issue. And let's get started. And I quote, a very good argument in support of a God, or at a bare minimum a higher power, would be the watchmaker argument. No, it wouldn't, because watches do need a designer, yes. But again, the designer has proven to be existing through evidence. He exists. You see watchmakers all of the time making watches. You see watchmakers design watches. You see watchmakers build them. There's evidence that there are builders that make watches. Humanity, another technological breakthrough. Evidence, sciences, and all of these other things have been applied to this particular situation as far as the watch is concerned. Evidence. Well, let's continue. And I quote, with a little twist, basically the most complex computer in the world has a designer behind its existence. We know this and would never question it. Even though we've never seen the designers, now since humans are more complex than the world's most complex computer, it stands to logical reasoning that there is a designer behind its existence. Behind our existence is what you're trying to say. You know, I'm going to tell you right now that this whole argument that you are showing me is flat out ridiculous because there's no evidence to support an existence of any kind of God in any way, shape, or form. Okay? None. I haven't seen any, and I'm pretty sure that there have been a lot of atheists out there who haven't seen any either. And that's why we don't have a belief. We lack the belief. Now, this whole situation on how we're so incredibly complex, and a lot of Christians out there like to say that we have this incredible human eye, and they argue with that particular argument. You know, that doesn't mean anything. It has been scientifically proven how we evolved over a period of time, over a period of thousands of years. We have an evolutionary process that has been observable for many years. Yet Christians and a lot of other individuals will sit here in denial and actually be dishonest about the whole thing and say, oh no, 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 no. We're going to ignore the truth. We're going to ignore everything about it. Well, I'm going to quote a famous saying by Neil deGrasse Tyson. Now, you may not believe science. You may not believe in science, but you're still wrong. End quote. And that's something that I really admire. And I know that Neil deGrasse Tyson is agnostic. That's what he said anyway. But that's a whole different video. But I just wanted to tell you that this watchmaker argument, again, is completely ridiculous. There's no evidence to support this divine design argument, like Christians so adequately put. It's completely ridiculous, and it's preposterous. And every time I hear this particular argument, I really get sick to my stomach, plain and simple. But now that we're at the end of this video, Dr. Spike, I want to take it upon myself to ask you a question, since you were so filled with questions to me. Do you think we as a species, humanity, can literally wrap our primitive minds through the entirety of the universe? Do you think that we can understand every interaction, every possibility, other scientific progresses that we may not discover for hundreds of years? Do you think that we could literally wrap our little minds around every interaction that the universe has to offer? Do you think we can have that type of knowledge? Do you think? And if you think that's a possibility, you're just as bad as a Christian. Because Christians have this idea that they think that they know everything because of this alleged divine revelation from their God. And that's one of the most disgusting, dishonest positions I've ever heard. The universe is so complex. We cannot wrap our minds around it, and we will never accomplish that, because there's so much out there that we will probably never discover for a while after you and I are long gone. And that's all I have to say about it. But please feel free to reply to me. That's my question to you. Do you think we as a human species can wrap our minds around the entirety of the universe and all of its observations and all of its interactions and all of its things that are undeniably mysterious to us right now? Do you think we can do that as a species of humanity? Get back to me on that. To my subscribers, please feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd really like to see your opinions on this issue. Also, please feel free to share this video with anyone that might be interested, whether it be on Facebook, Google+, Tumblr, wherever you guys hang out. The next time, Quiet Atheist is out. And remember, if you can be good at it. Most of all, thank you for watching. And I will see you next video.